coming by today. This is Kevin, and our episode here is called What's Up with Kev? Bringing this to you from Davis and Taught Network. We're located out in Davison, Michigan, the sister site of Flint Talk Radio. Welcome you today. My topic today is going to be called pull-ups. It's a matter that has been seriously needed to be addressed for quite some time. I know a lot of people are basically embarrassed, discouraged, and quite frankly sick of it. So hopefully we can cover some things about this and kind of clear the air, make people think about what they're doing, and again, it's a respect issue. So if you want my respect, you got to earn that, and vice versa. So my topic is called pull-ups. Sagging pants. What does it mean? For quite a long time, I couldn't figure it out. I see these, these youngsters or gangsters or whatever you want to call them, these young thugs going around and totally destroying any type of image that they thought they might have. Again, I don't know what point you're trying to make. To me, you look like somebody I would really not want my kids around because, quite frankly, I don't trust you just simply because of the way that you look. So you put this image upon yourself. You make people think, I don't know what you want people to think of you, but I personally, I got to be biased on it. I can't tell you what I think because if I did, they'd really censor this. But that's just me talking. But a real quick story, not a couple of them, but just a really quick story. And before I do that, though, I kind of want Ethan to pull up these images, and so you can kind of see where I'm going at with the whole pull-up thing and why businesses put on their doors now. It used to be no shoes, no shirts, no service. Now it's pull your pants up. So Ethan, you want to show those pictures up there for me? I got a couple of them. Just wanted to see there real quick. Okay. Those are just a couple of random pictures. I pulled them off the net. I just thought they were kind of funny. Again, I don't know what you're trying to tell people, but I did find out what it meant. And hopefully, if I can reach one or two of you young fellers, young ladies, young folk, whatever you are, that you might change and have a little bit of change of thought, maybe be a little bit more respectful to yourself and to others who have to see this. This information I got right here came from a website. It's called Urban Directory or Dictionary. I'm sorry, I get that wrong every time. It's www.urbandictionary.com, and it's called Define. Well, just go there, search sagging, and it'll come up. And I also got this from what do you call it again, Ethan? I can never remember this. I'm sorry, folks. I can't never remember this.
It's Wikipedia.
Wikipedia also has a huge section about the meaning behind this. So in case if you don't know, I'm going to try to give you a little bit of information here. It says wearing one's pants around the hips so they sag down and bunch up around the ankles. Originally, this is a prison thing. And I say, and I hear people say this a lot, but I mean, you kids not understand, or you young adults not understand that this is something that started in the prison. You were another prisoner's property. Basically, you were their whatever, okay? So you come across as this high-end, red or whatever you're trying to come across as, but yet you're wearing pants that in a prison would make you somebody's, yeah. It basically says that when you go to prison, the new prisoners or the punks were forced to wear their pants in this way, so it'd be easier for their masters to pull them down and basically, yeah. Okay, so again, you might really want to think about your dress code, because what you are projecting to people, what you are telling people. Somehow this became a fashion statement in the 1990s, and I don't know why that became a fashion statement, because it was never fashionable. Everybody that ever seen it all pretty much said the same thing. What's your point? Um, there's a story, and I want to call it urban myth, maybe, that there was some elderly people that would walk around the malls and just to get their exercise or do whatever they're doing, and they were constantly embarrassed and ashamed and sometimes even offended to go into these places because that's all they seen. Thugs and kids walking around with their pants hanging down, their butts sticking out, and everybody's seeing their holy glory, and they're offended by it. They weren't brought up with that, so why should they have to put up with that? Well, they did. And what they ended up doing, and I got to commend them for it again, if this was a true story, um, they decided to make their own bagging pants. And what they basically did is they went down and they bought pull ups and depends. And they sold them together and they made their own style of bagging clothing. And they wore them at the mall. They walked around, and of course, their butts are sticking out. You can see their underwear. Of course, you see their depends or their pull ups. And these thugs would go around these the young kids and go, "Oh man, that's horrible. I can't believe you're doing that. We don't want to see your diaper sticking out." Blah blah blah. And they turned around and they very firmly said, "Well, what makes you think I want to see your underwear sticking out?" So I mean, it's a two-way thing. Again, I gotta say this again. If you want my respect or anybody's respect, dress respectful. We're not into that. I mean, and again, maybe not enough people understand, or maybe you don't understand exactly why you probably would want to think twice about that. Um, According to this document, too, the person was talking about that they learned from watching a TV special on prison life. And I kind of like this part here, too. It says the inmate who related the story was an elderly gentleman who had been sentenced to life in prison, had been there for 50 years. He marveled at how much mark, excuse me, he marveled at how much of a mark of shame became of this fashion statement. Again, where it came from is from the prisoners. He said the younger inmates don't believe him when he tells them and he swears that it's the truth. I mean, of course, I kind of got to say I believe him. I mean, that's where it started. I mean, that's the whole thing of it. Like I said earlier, when you first came to prison, you were just a punk, and they put you in your place real fast, and you became somebody's property. And to make sure of that, that's how you dressed, plain and simple, because you were owned by somebody. So does that mean like when I see these gangsters walking around on the streets, these young thugs and all that kind of stuff, and I see your drawers all hanging down like that, and you're just totally disrespectful, not meaning it as a fashion statement, but are you telling everybody that even though you're big Barney bad whatever, you're still somebody's thing? Okay, again, I said that earlier. I say it again. It says I also think that that'll let that guy out. I mean, he's like 80. Okay, what's he going to do? So it's and Ethan, it's kind of funny because earlier when I talked to you about the store owners, I think I've got a photograph of one of the buildings of the store where the guy's got how to dress. Let you pull that up real quick so that the viewers can see that. All right. Again, it's just an image I got off the internet. So it just kind of cracks me up. But if you look at any wannabe, and again, you call yourself gangsters, I call you wanksters. And and I actually seen this happen. This is actually quite funny at my day job. This kid standing by the front door, and of course wears his pants down by his knees, dressing ridiculously and looking just like, quite frankly, whatever. Standing there, and here comes this car pulling in, and he's standing there, he's flashing the gangbanger signs and the crippled hand look and the W whatever sign. I mean, again, I don't understand all that stuff. I'm never going to learn it. Next thing I know, his pants fall down. Okay, now he's embarrassed because his pants just fell down. Well, he should be embarrassed. He should be ashamed at how he looks because, quite frankly, he looked absolutely ridiculous. Take a bath, use some Stridex on the face thing, get that kind of cleared up a little bit, wash your hair, get some clothes that fit. Okay, that's the key thing. Buy clothes that fit. Stop wearing your little brother's clothes. Okay, the pants that you can only get up to your thigh, so you strap whatever you can strap on to make them fit. Um, Again, it does not make sense to me. Uh, and again, it's like, if any of these, if any of you guys actually did anything bad enough um, to get yourself thrown in jail or into the slammer or whatever you want to call it, or into your home, whatever you want to call it, uh, they probably, yeah, shortly find out exactly what sagging pants are good for, um, because that's what they're good for, and you will be somebody's friend. I guarantee you, Bubba will like you. Um, so I got a couple more pictures of some of these baggy pant things that's been going on. Ethan, go ahead and pull those up again. I'm just going to kind of keep throwing you these because they're funny. I think they're kind of ridiculous. So go ahead and show those pictures. Thanks, Ethan. And I mean, is there anything you want to add to this, Ethan? Do you want to say anything regarding?
I mean, it's stupid to think that they think it's all right to do this. I mean, who are you trying to impress, really? You've you've really just embarrassed yourself.
Exactly.
You're walking around with your underwear hanging out your drawers, and you look stupid.
Exactly.
You know, and
My, I
what?
tell I tell you, my favorite one is sometimes when you see them and their drawers are hanging out like that, and you ever notice there's a dirt line where their pants are sitting.
Exactly, yeah,
No laundry soap.
yeah.
I mean, okay, so now we not only do we get to look at your underwear butt, but now we get to look at your dirty stain. Okay,
Mhm.
boy, that just makes you want me to invite you to my cookout. Okay,
Right, and
and as a young person too, Ethan. I mean, my son here, he's not that old. I mean, he's been around kids and he's seen this. I mean, what is your personal opinion about that?
I think it's disgusting. You know, who in their right mind wants to go around with the underwear hanging down, well, their underwear hanging out their pants,
Hmm.
just looking stupid?
It does.
I mean, really?
It looks horrible.
You know, there's got to be a solution for this. What have you got? Anything?
My whole thing is, again, if that's what you guys want to do, that's stab myself here. If that's what you guys want to do, then you know what, man, more power to you. But do it on your own time. I don't want to see it. It doesn't. It it does nothing for me except make me think differently of you. And if you don't want me to think that way, then stop portraying the part. If you don't want me to think of you as a gangster, a hellion, a little disrespectful punk, stop dressing the part. It's that simple. I appreciate people more who at least have clothes on that fit, and I'm not looking at their hind end. Again, I think it's disgusting. I would trust you more in a grocery store if I seen you dressed up, your pants up, your hair cut, groomed. You try to look like a person of society, not the problem of society. But when you don't do that and you portray that part and you expect people to not say anything, oh, no, no, no. People are going to say stuff, and they will say stuff. I've been with my son and said, geez, oh, freaking Pete, how does this guy even walk? And it's got to be bad for your legs. I mean, it's retarded. I mean, I don't. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that word. It's not even. It's just beyond comprehension. I don't understand the whole thing with it. But if you got to do that because you have to make some kind of point, which I don't understand, normal people don't do that. Regular people don't do that kind of stuff. We dress nice. We keep our pants up. And the other thing that there, and I had to laugh about this too, is that the the backslash from this, or the rebuttal, if you want to call it, is that it's a, and please don't take this the wrong way because I don't believe this part of it, but this was under the Wikipedia website. Is that the right? I can't never say that right.
It's close. It's Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Let me write that down. Wikipedia. Let me write that down. Bear with me. Okay, Wikipedia. And it was on the Wikipedia site that I seen that, and that there was a comment made from a gentleman who claimed that it was an African American thing to uh, not even as a fashion statement to be comfortable, and it's that they intentionally bought tight clothes because they didn't want to see that. They didn't want to be a part of, excuse the expression, the white man's world. According to this article, if you don't wear your clothes baggy like that, you're called a nut hugger. Um, well, I guess I'd rather be called a nut hugger than, a butt whatever. And I know that me dressing the way that I dress and my kids dressing the way that they dress, um, I mean, if you want to call my kid that, I mean, that's entirely up to you. But always keep in mind that that's not the image that you're projecting to me. So I'm not going to think that same way about you. And again, if it's a respect issue, you know, you got to do something there. Um, and again, they talk about, and you see it on Cops a lot and on the shows where young men are in the process of being arrested, and it just cracks me up. It's like the police give you 100 feet of freeway. I mean, they look at their watch and go, we'll give them a couple 100 feet. Yeah, okay, let's continue. And it never fails. It cracks me up. You make it 10 feet and you fall on your face. And what do? They jump on top of you. And, that cracks me up. Ethan's got something he wants to add there.
It's funny you should mention that. I was watching an episode of Cops the other day, and this hooligan, for whatever reason, same topic here with the bag and whatnot, was running from the cops and tried to jump over a wooden fence.
Oh my God.
Those 6 foot tall freaking wooden panel fences. Sure. And wouldn't you know it, his pants got caught and they got ripped off.
Yeah, go figure.
I just sat there and I laughed at that.
Yeah.
I'm like, way to go, dude. You've officially made yourself to be an idiot.
Failed. And again.
There you go, man. There you go.
Kids, I know kids are going to be kids. I know it's a peer pressure thing. We all went through it. We had peer kid things that we did when we were kids. But we never disrespected one another, and we never disrespected ourselves. And I think that's kind of important, have some kind of self-esteem. I mean, it's like, I just wish that you would look outside of that box or outside of that circle that you're in. And I know you see it every day. You see people of the norm not dressing like that. You see professionals dressing very casual, very nice dress. Shaven, haircut, clean, respectable people. Now, what they do behind their closed doors, that's not up to me. I'm not going to judge them for that. But if I see that type of demeanor in a public place and I see somebody, holding onto the front of their pants to hold their pants up and, wobbling back and forth, do I still got the one picture of the guy that I'm not sure what story he's in? Anyway, I got another picture. We'll find it. It kind of cracks you up because, again, how do you walk? How do you get from point A to point B? It's got to be such a struggle. Your thighs must be on freaking fire by the time you're done. I can't even imagine them not being on fire. You got to have some kind of rope burn, scarring going on your thighs or your legs. I'm sorry. When you wear pants that are too small, look stupid on you. Okay, so you're a fully grown, young adult, 32 or 36-inch waist wearing a 28-inch waist. It's not going to work. Okay, so obviously you can't pull them out. Change your damn underwear. I mean, come on. If you're going to do it, at least change them so I don't have to see the dirty mark on it. But I got a suggestion, and it's actually really quite an easy thing. It's just for those of you that cannot afford a suspension device. And I will clarify that a little bit. A suspension device is something that helps you hold things up. Okay? So if you're having problems with your pants, here's a suspension device. I want you to check this out, man. This is a piece of shoelace. I guarantee you, if you checked out some of them tennis shoes that you don't wear no more, you probably have a couple of these inside them tennis shoes. Tie a little loop on the end, just like this one. It's a little tiny loop. wrap it through the belt loops in your pants, push that through there, and just tie a little knot, tie it till it's tight. It'll help your pants stay up. Now, if you don't have one of these, try some of this. This is a plumber's belt. Most of us know that all plumbers have what's called plumber's butt, plumber's crack, if you prefer. But plumbers always have this stuff. It's called duct tape. So if you need help holding your pants up and you don't have one of these, try this. Works great. Do me a favor though. Be careful when you take it off because it can hurt. Last but not least, for all of those who know what I'm talking about, here's the ultimate suspension device. It's called a belt, okay? And I know you guys wear them because you wear these around the thigh of your leg to hold up your little brother's pants. The thing of it is if you buy these bigger, where they fit around your waist, and you buy pants that fit you, this will help support your pants up around your waist, not up around your thigh. And they're not expensive. You kind of be surprised on how easy these things are to come by. These you can get at a department store, $7, $8. Roll of duct tape, $4 or $5, or free from a plumber. A shoelace string. I guarantee you have shoelaces around there somewhere. I guarantee it. Try some of that stuff. Suspenders, them work really good too. But again, most importantly, make sure that you try to get clothes that fit you. Respect yourself. Be respectable. And people will respect you back. People will be more not offended by you, but more rather you want to be around you. We're just going to kind of throw this off the top of my head here real quick. I think we got time there, don't we, Ethan? We're still good for time. We're already a state or a nation that's in trouble. Why do we want to keep projecting trouble? Why don't we say, you know what, we've all had enough, and let's start respecting one another. Let's start being responsible for the things that we do, the way that we act, the way that we dress, our appearance, our mannerisms. I was never allowed to do that as a child. And I'm not saying that just because I'm from old school. I know a lot of my kids were never allowed to do that in school. I never allowed it. Because the parent figure maybe might not have been there is unacceptable. You're a human being. You have a thought process. You have a brain. They did give you one. I also gave you a little thing that's called common sense. If people are talking about you and offending you, stop doing those things that cause people to talk about you and offend you. A lot of you kids out there are educated kids. You're good kids. You're just following the wrong crowd, and you need to stop doing that. Be your own crowd. Be your own people. Stop this nonsense. And again, what you do behind closed doors, that's up to you. But do me a favor. If you're not behind them closed doors and you're out in general public, think of the people who are also out there that don't want to see that. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Others will be good to you. Ethan, you got anything you want to add to that, or?
No, I think you've pretty much covered it here.
Okay. I'm just going to follow up with another couple of pitches that I just happened to again come across. And again, I'm not trying to pick on nobody. I'm not to say that this is, but believe me, not a race issue. This is 100% has nothing to do colored, creed. Please don't even think that that's what it has, because it don't. I think everybody deserves a fair chance, and everybody deserves respect. And again, I'm going to say this again. You want it, you got to produce it. If you're not going to produce it or project it, you're not going to get it. From me, my generation, my kids' generation, we're not going to tolerate it. And, you want to be my friend, dress respectable. What you do in your own home, I don't care, but don't bring that stuff out to me. That's not my thing. So I'm going to leave you. I appreciate the time that you spent with me. I hope that my topic was a good one. Please let me know. Definitely contact us. There's a little link on the top of our website. It's called Feedback. Click on it. Fill that form out. I'll get the feedback. Like I always say, if it's good enough feedback, I'll put you on the website. And our website is www.davison, DAVISON, talk, TALK, network, NETWORK, We'll try to get some more stuff out to you. We'll try to do some follow-ups on some of the other episodes that we're doing. So I really hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Kev, and that's What's Up with Kev this week. Pull them up. God bless you. You all have a great week.